colleagues tell you how proud I am of you. Why? Because you're highly intelligent, you're very hardworking, you've endured strenuous training that nobody will ever understand other than you. And you've shouldered tremendous responsibility as a physician, and some of you are surgeons. All of you presumably are doing these procedures. So you've shouldered tremendous responsibility, and you've withstood enormous stress and pressure, and you've made courageous decisions and taken action, which many people don't do, but you have. And you're exceptionally strong, and you've been battle tested, taking care of patients for many years in the clinical environment. That makes you dynamic and courageous. And the other thing is, like myself, I was a cardiac surgeon, and because of the economic milieu of reimbursement and the pressures of interventional cardiology and so forth, many of us have embraced new skills and adapted and changed. I know Jose has done that. We've talked a lot about that over the years, and many of you have done that. So you possess a risk-taking mindset. You're not like other people. You're special. And you pivot and succeed in unfamiliar territory. Some of you come from family practice backgrounds, all different kinds of backgrounds in medicine. Now you're doing vascular procedures in your office. That makes you very, very special. You succeed in unfamiliar territory, and you deserve a big pat on the back. Unfortunately, we're working in a system now where sometimes that pat on the back feels like somebody's pushing us over the edge or off the edge of a cliff. So let's talk about the entrepreneur that already exists in you. Do you own your own practice? Do you manage teams and employees? Do you function as a leader? Do you manage complex systems and situations every single day? Do you make critical decisions that really make a difference in people's lives? Do you possess advanced organizational skills? Do you analyze complex data every day? Because if you can say yes to any one of these things, and I know that you can, you already have a lot of what it takes to be an entrepreneur. I want you to leverage all of the knowledge and even the financial capital that we have, which makes us special in many ways. I want you to leverage that to build your own entrepreneurial endeavors. So I'll share with you just a few of the things that I've done personally, but you don't have to do these, but just to show you how I've leveraged my knowledge and capital. I own a dietary supplement company that I started from scratch. We produce podcasts. I'm involved in education services. I'm involved in the medical conference business, real estate investing, the hospitality business, and I'm involved in some medical industry consulting. And if I can do that, you can too. And not because there's nothing special about me. There's a lot special about me. But I came to tell you that you're special too. That's why you have a huge advantage over so many people. Let's talk about Archimedes, the old Greek mathematician and physicist, who said, "Give me a lever long enough and a fulcrum to place it on, and I'll move the world." You have tremendous leverage, and you have to recognize that leverage, because no one is going to point this out to you. We have many physician entrepreneurs that we've known over the years. Some we may not know personally, some we do. Dr. Robert Jarvik, I can remember back to my childhood, one of the inspirations for me becoming a cardiac surgeon, who invented the Jarvik 7 heart, and still working on iterations of that today. Dr. Oz, that we all know, Dr. Chopra, Dr. Weil. And then we have, of course, people that we do know well, our host, Dr. Almeida. And I put this photo of Dr. Almeida not to be funny, but to show his courage. You know, he's talked about this before. It takes courage to, take your shirt off, take your pants off, go in a bikini and stand on a stage in front of people and expose yourself. And it's that mentality that explains so much of his personal success. Others may know Sanjeev Lakhanpal, who started CVR, working with private equity, buying up practices, building a big company. Ron Bush, who many of us started with many years ago, who's been one of the early entrepreneurs. So if I can do it, if they can do it, certainly you can do it, and I know many of you are. Your work ethic sets you apart. You're the person who arrives early, stays late, works weekends, holidays, has worked overnight, has made all kinds of sacrifices. Jose showed a beautiful picture of himself with his family and his friends. Well, how many nights did Jose not have that time with his family and his friends? How much is he making up for? How much am I making up for now? Because we were the people in this room, you personally, have done things that people could never dream to do, the sacrifice, the hard work. So that makes you special. You don't make excuses. You've passed many rigorous exams. You're already exceptional. And I'm going to say it again and again. You're already exceptional. My effort here today is to get you to understand your true value. I see it in you, but I need you to see it in you. I need you to start thinking of healthcare as a business because everybody else does. We were programmed to think that that's bad thinking and that's evil and that's unethical and that's immoral. But nothing could be further from the truth. It is a business and everybody else sees it that way, and they're all profiting on your hard work. And they'll keep you working in the trenches hard forever until you wake up. This includes the insurance companies, the federal government, the hospital systems, medical device companies, big pharma, attorneys. You are an undervalued powerhouse. You're an underleveraged powerhouse, and I suggest you start using your leverage. How can I do that? How can you do that? What are the practical, concrete ways I can do it? Well, method one would be to build it within medicine if that's what you're interested in. These are just a handful of innumerable ideas that you can incorporate into your practice. Weight loss and nutrition programs, wellness center, spa, wound care center, expanding your ultrasound lab services to, let's say, arterial, soft tissue, musculoskeletal, whatever the case may be. Get involved in lymphedema, lipedema therapy, surgery, etc. Cosmetic and aesthetic services. Provide products like supplements, skincare products, stockings, etc. in the office. Hire more physicians, hire nurse practitioners and PAs. Acquire practices. Build multiple centers. The key, though, is I want to advise that you scale without burning out. Be smart about that. Method two is to build outside of medicine. Real estate, franchises, purchase small businesses that already exist, start up new businesses, get involved in venture capital where you invest your money in people that you believe in and their ideas. And of course, traditional things like stocks, bonds, mutual funds, etc. And Jose pointed out his family. Harness the power of your family. Many of you are exceptional because you have an amazing family. You have incredible families, well-educated children, well-educated spouses, well-educated siblings, knowledgeable people. I've done it in my family. My sons work with me. My wife works with me. Our daughter will be working with us in the future. Leverage these people. Not in a negative way, but you've all worked so hard to become something exceptional. Why not put your forces together if you can? And remember, you're a lifelong learner. Your life has been education. That's why you're here today. That's why you showed up and so many others didn't, because you're committed to this. But there are new subjects for you. Learn entrepreneurship the same way that you learned medicine. Take it really seriously. Attend business conferences. Read, study, attend seminars like the one we're doing right now. This is an acronym that I created, BLAME. Big losers always make excuses. And that doesn't describe you guys. It just doesn't. Don't blame others. Don't blame the government, the insurance companies, the reimbursement, Medicare. Just don't, because they're not going to help. It's not going to be valuable. Take full responsibility. Remember, America is the land of opportunity. And America is easy. We're supposed to succeed. We're supposed to do well. We're supposed to pay big taxes. That's how the roads get built. That's how the schools get built. My father came here in 1958 as a physician when the Shah was still in power in the so-called good days. But Iran is hard. Nobody's climbing over any walls to get into Iran. Cuba, Jose's family came from Cuba, and they've done so well here because America's easy, but Cuba's hard. I don't know anybody building a raft in Miami to try to get to Cuba. America's easy. My old mentor Jim Rohn used to say, I used to blame everything outside of me for my lack of progress until I found that the problem was inside me. This is the golden age. Forget about docs who talk about the golden age when reimbursement was it. This is the golden age. Make no mistake about it. Utilize and leverage the technology that we have. Social media. Notice I put small social, big media. You no longer need anyone's permission to have your own media company, to put yourself out there, to share your message with the world. You own or potentially own a global multimedia broadcasting company. You have your own TV station on YouTube. You have your own radio station with all the podcasts. You own your own publishing house. You don't need a literary agent. You don't need a publisher to accept your book and print it for you. You don't need anybody's permission anymore. We live in the golden age. And much of this, almost all of it, is free or nearly free. Utilize artificial intelligence and ChatGPT, and if you don't know about it, learn about it. You're smart and you're capable. And utilize the global workforce that we have access to now. I know people in this room, my colleagues who I admire, who are using, and my companies certainly are, specialists from all around the world to help us with technological projects, digital marketing, virtual assistants, et cetera, et cetera. We live in a golden age. It's an amazing time. So ask yourself, are you taking advantage of it? Do you have a website, a LinkedIn account, a YouTube channel, a Facebook page, an Instagram page, X account, TikTok? Do you have a podcast? Are you sending out a newsletter? Are you involved in email marketing? If not, I strongly suggest you look at all of those things. Are you investing in Google AdWords, organic SEO? Do you have a marketing agency? Do you have a publicist? Do you have a social media manager? It might sound crazy to some of you, but if you don't, I would think about it. I could tell you that the answer to every one of those questions for me is yes. I know for Jose, for many of those it's yes, if not all of them, and for many others. So do you want to be competitive in the golden age, or do you want to watch others be successful in the golden age? Do you understand digital marketing just as one tiny piece of it? Do you know these terms, B2B, B2C, ROI, SEM, CPC? If you do, terrific, wonderful. If you don't, I would learn them. They're valuable. I call it the modern day Krebs cycle. How many of us have sat and suffered and read this Krebs cycle over and over in the 8th grade, the 12th grade, in college, in medical school, in surgical residency, over and over? This metabolism of the human body, this milieu that's working all at once and constantly creating energy. Well, if you could do that, you can put some time and effort into understanding this new biological system that's running the world and driving economics. Digital strategy, social media, ads, SEO, website, marketing, et cetera, et cetera. This is the stuff that the economy is being made of, and you have access to it. One of my other virtual mentors, Earl Nightingale, who's been gone a long time now, said, we live today in a golden age. This is an era that man has looked forward to, dreamed of, and worked toward for thousands of years. But since it's here, we pretty well take it for granted. Don't let that be you. Earl Nightingale said that in his book, The Strangest Secret, in 1957. Could you imagine what he would think of the possibilities and the opportunities today if he thought that was a golden age? So what was that strange secret that Earl was talking about? Well, the strange secret is you become what you think about. You become what you think about most of the time. Most of us became physicians and healthcare providers because when we were young, we thought about that all the time. We were obsessed with it, to the extent that we basically turned our back on everything else except our profession. So you have that gear. If you think about success, you'll attract success. If you think about failure, you'll attract failure. So what is your mind focused on, and which way are you going? Let's look at some old school office gear. The desktop computer, laptop, copying machine, telephone system, fax machine. We all have this in our offices, in our workplaces. Now there's the mid-school gear. I can remember when Jose and I were both young and handsome, and we went out and we learned about this stuff and brought this into the office, and we were real pioneers and leading the way and working with Ron Bush in Dayton, Ohio, and added an ultrasound to the office and a laser system, RF system, and all of this. I call this the mid-school gear. But how many of us have the new school gear in the office? Do you have a videography studio set up? Again, I know Jose does because I see his videos, and I think they're terrific. I know I do. Do you have a podcast studio set up? If you do, awesome. If you don't, I would really consider doing that, because these are the tools of the modern age, of the contemporary time, not the future. And many of you may be sitting out there saying, yeah, but you know what, John, it's too late for me. I missed the boat. You know, I should have done this 10 years ago when you started, and this and that. It's never too late. Look at some of these American dream stories. Mary Kay Ash started her cosmetic company at 45. Sam Walton opened his first Walmart at 45. Martha Stewart opened her catering company at 50. Wasn't on TV for a few years after that. Ray Kroc was a salesman of shake machines and got involved with the McDonald's brothers at 52. Arianna Huffington started the Post at 55. Colonel Sanders started his amazing KFC chicken franchise at 62. So it's not too late. Don't make that excuse. What you want is multiple sources of income, not just one. Some of these will be big and some will be small, but the beautiful part is that they all flow to your bank account. And this helps you develop diversity, and that gives you security. Don't bank on your hands and your eyes and your back holding up forever. We've seen too many of our colleagues become disabled for a number of reasons. I like to think of us, sadly, as well-paid manual laborers. We have a white-collar education and a blue-collar job. So how are you going to fit this into your schedule? I know we're all super busy. Well, no one can manage time. Time moves at a constant rate. The only thing you can manage is your activity within time. So restructure your week. We went from 5 8-hour days to 4 10-hour days so that I could have Friday to fully focus on my entrepreneurial endeavors. If you're serious, make the time, because you won't find the time. My old chairman in general surgery, Charlie Sills, who's gone now, bless him, he used to say to me, John, don't work so hard in your career, you have no time to make money. And you don't need an MBA. If you've got an MBA, great. My wife has an MBA, my son has an MBA. If you don't, that's fine too. Turn your car into a university on wheels. Listen to podcasts, audiobooks. Most of us commute 25 minutes each way to work. That's 50 minutes a day, 250 minutes a week, 4.2 hours a week. That is the equivalent of a 4-credit university course every 15 weeks. You could do 3 courses a year in your car. Don't listen to the bad news. It's not helpful. They're not coming to the rescue. Don't listen to music. And then read an hour a day. That's 365 hours a year based on business reading. That's 9 40-hour weeks committed just to business reading. Do it and learn. In my book, Make Your Own Damn Cheese, I talk about the conscious mind, subconscious mind, and superconscious mind, and how we've all been programmed up until this point. And if you want to change your results, we need to reprogram your mind. And this book will show you how to do that. And I'm going to be signing some free copies at the booth this afternoon. You have the power of choice. You're not like the other little animals in the world. You're not like a goose who can only fly south in the winter. You can go north or south or east or west. Or you could stay right where you are if you're perfectly happy. You have the power of choice. You can change direction and results, but remember, nobody's coming to the rescue. At Chuback Education, our logo is an elephant with the bite taken out of it, because the old question is, how do you eat an elephant? And the answer is 1 bite at a time. But not just because it's a big animal, but think about an elephant. Tough skin, tough tissue. There's a lot of chewing, a lot of swallowing. This isn't easy, but you got to get started. You got to believe in yourself, you have to act, and you have to persist. This is Sir Edmund Hillary and his climbing companion Tenzing Norgay, who were defeated by Everest in 51 and 52 and hiked past the dead body of Mallory, who had died on the mountain before them. But together they reached the summit in 53. They never gave up. And we think about The Karate Kid, great movie, inspirational. Daniel gets really pissed at Mr. Miyagi because he figures out, you just have me waxing your car and painting the fence and sanding the floor. You're just using me here. But in fact, Sensei Miyagi was preparing Daniel the whole time. And your medical training and experience are your entrepreneurial superpowers. You've been training for this all along. You're primed for success. You already have what it takes. So we're here in Miami. Remember the old great film Scarface? Tony Montana said, "The world is yours." Don't hesitate. Start now. Take action. Study every day. Remain positive. You already have everything it takes. The future is bright. But unlike Tony Montana, all of you have an ethical, moral, wonderful way of building your empire and your success. You don't have to be a thief or a criminal or a bad guy. Oh, sorry. I think we had a little voting poll. I don't know if this will work, but maybe we could just do it by a show of hands. Is anything I'm saying resonating with anybody? Would anybody in the room be interested if we wanted to do, let's say, a 2-day conference just specifically on physician entrepreneurship and business? Show of hands, anybody? Wow, fantastic. Is there anybody here who would be interested in developing multiple sources of income? That wasn't a joke. And would you like to learn how to generate greater income with less direct hands-on patient care? Awesome, fantastic. Well, I'd love to meet each and every one of you. We'll be at booth 217 with Vita Support, and we're going to be registering people for the Vein and Lymphatic Summit. Jose will be speaking there. Many of the other speakers from this Congress will be speaking there. And I'll be signing some free copies of these books, and I'd love to share some more ideas. So thank you all so much for your attention. It's been great. Thank you. Right around.